Alrighty, everyone. How are we all doing this afternoon? Or morning? Or evening? Back again with One Piece. Alright. Let's see how the stream will be. It probably is going to be a quick stream today. But who knows? It should be an exciting chapter because we left on a massive cliffhanger with the whole Emu, Luffy, Loki showdown. Goddamn apocalyptic throwdown of the century. It's about to happen, but who knows? Who knows? But yeah, we're going to do the chapter. And then we'll have a little discussion after the chapter and see who's here. If they're not, then it will be a quick stream. Tomorrow will be our anime night, so we'll do that and get the last episode of the live action done. Sunday will, of course, be our read-through day, so we'll get through that. Next week, if we didn't get caught up on Sunday or we're, like, almost caught up, we'll try and, like, finish off Gachi Koda, maybe with its own stream, because we are getting close, apparently, and it's the current arc is apparently still ongoing, so that's the one that we are going to be hitting. I believe it's the Doll Festival, so I'm excited for that. And then if we do that next week, then the following Sunday, if there's a chapter out for Gachi Koda, we'll do a single chapter. Same thing with we've been doing now with Ichi the Witch and Iruma-kun. So that leaves room, and I'm thinking, again, One Punch Man, I'm floating between an actual single stream or just making it part of the new gen lineup. I think I might just do that, make it a little bit easier. So we'll go through maybe One Punch Man next Sunday. And then this week, you know, outside of, or I guess next week, I should say, Gachi Koda, we'll try and get back into the Fate streams, just try and get a little bit further into that. Do more Invincible watch-throughs, get some more of the episode edits down into the channel, and so on and so forth. Yeah, rough idea of what we're going to be doing. And, of course, trying to, as much as I possibly can, keep to a schedule. That's always an uphill battle. But, anyway. So, let's not do any more dilly-dally. Again, last time we left off with the chapter, we had a big cliffhanger of, oh, the SmackDown's coming. We had a discussion about Usopp, so much so that I even put up a short on the channel. Go check that out. I think it's good. It was a brief snippet of last time for the channel, or for the last chapter. So if you want to go see more of the extended discussion on Usopp, go check out the last stream. Depending on this chapter, maybe some more shorts will come out. We'll see. We'll see. I think that would be like the easiest thing so far for discussions, just to put it out there. Be nice. But, yeah. So, with that being said, get your snacks, get your drinks, stay hydrated. Of course, rules are down there, please. If you're here live and VOD Gang members, please and thank you. I hope you guys are all having a good day and trying to make this your year. For those who are looking for the chapter link, if you're here now live, it is pinned to the chat. And then if you are watching later on, it is in the description down below for you VOD Gang watchers. Let's do this. So, reading on TCB Scans, we have chapter 1178, A Fading Nightmare. This bloke, Eustace Captain Kidd, or as the fandom would mostly say, Captain Mid, is on a cover, and we haven't seen this bum in all of Elbaf, so I doubt he's dead, but it's looking more and more likely Oda probably doesn't have major plans for Kidd this arc. Same thing, unfortunately, with Oroge, which sucks. Sucks really bad, because I feel like, at least with Oroge, there's a lot of things you could have done with Sky P and lore as well, but, you know. Law is also in the wind right now. We don't know what's going on with him or where he's going to go for Sanctuary. Maybe the obvious is just back to the Straw Hats, but then a lot of people are like, really? Again with the Straw Hats? But they are an ally, and he basically got fucking wrecked, so. Anyway, neat little cover. Kid running away from a bull. Is that the same, was it Lucy from Dressrosa over here? Cover request by Nanaka Antano. Kid runs from a bull charging at his jacket. Oh, because it's red. Of course. Of course. All right. First page. Luffy and Loki confront Gunko. Not Gunko Emu. Gunko. Hey! Luffy. Wait, Luffy's all the way over there? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Luffy's... Wait. Oh, Usopp. Again, we'll see with Usopp. We'll see again. Maybe he bounced back. Maybe he will. Probably not. If he doesn't bounce back, then we'll have, of course, by the end of Elbaf, a discussion on Usopp. And then probably another short, maybe even a video. We'll see. Hey, it's Luffy. Brook and Usopp. I'll leave them to you two. What's going on over there? I can't believe Emu actually allowed him to get away and get them to safety. I mean, Loki is there, and you can actually see his spikes, which again just shows how massive he is. But he is there, so I guess he can provide cover for Luffy to get him out of there. But that's insane that Emu could actually not effectively keep him there. What's going on over there? Do you want backup? Nah. I'll count on you guys if things get bad. For now, I'll take a few steps back if I were you, though. Okay, so Frankie, again, I knew some people, certain individuals liked Frankie's speech last time about, whoa, we're an Emperor's crew. Of course we're going to be strong. It's like, okay. Loki's a real wild card. Look who's talking, Sanji says, of course. Especially in this form. But Luffy's gonna be pissed in Gear 5, which I feel like should mean something. But who knows? Knowing Oda, it may not mean anything. But we'll see. So back during the fight of Loki, fuse their names. Loki and Emu facing down, charging up a massive Giga lightning beam over here. The Throwheim, I'm pretty sure. I feel like Emu should be smaller, but hey, you know, Oda inconsistency. 'Twas but a few years ago when a giant ship was glimpsed at sea, helmed by a captain of truly immense stature. Oh, that's I was about to say the bubble looks like it was over Loki, but no, that's Emu. So is Emu? Ooh, maybe Emu. Is Emu talking about when Loki went out to sea with those giants? Oh, are we finally getting context of what happened there? 'Twas but a few years ago when a giant ship was glimpsed at sea, helmed by a captain of truly immense stature. That craft was never identified, for it sculled deep within fog-surrounded region. What are you talking about? Okay, wait a minute. Wait, whoa. Hold on, hang on a second, bucko. This is now giving me Florian Triangle vibes. What are you talking about? I thought he's talking about goddamn Loki and the boys after Harold's death. I think he's talking about something different here. Let me read this again. 'Twas but a few years ago when a giant ship was glimpsed at sea, helmed by a captain of truly immense stature. That craft was never identified, for it sulked deep within fog-shrouded regions. Yet it only ever targeted world government vessels. Almost like the opposite of Harold. Almost the opposite of what Harold did for the world government. When he was sneaking up on pirates, doing that like whole, I'm in the fog, fucking taking them down. What is he they, whatever. Are they talking about how Loki was doing what Harold was doing, but going against world government? And it's always in the shroud. Why is there so many shrouded regions here? I know it's like sea fog or whatever, but it's like, wait a minute. Are there like just a bunch of fogged areas out at sea in the One Piece world? Because every time I hear fog, I'm always like, are they talking about Thriller Bark? Are they talking about, I'm like, oh, what's the area? The Florian Triangle? Are we ever going to address that, Oda? Please? I feel like it has to be addressed at some point. So, boom! Massive Throwheim blast. I mean, if Usopp's, like, all offense. Though, again, Oda is known now to be inconsistent with his power scaling. Like, in the beginning of the arcs, he'll, like, genuinely debuff his Straw Hat characters. I don't know why he thinks that's okay, but whatever. But if Usopp's Pop Greens, what is it called? The Skull Bomb? Yeah, the Skull Bomb has done twice over damage to Gunko and now Gunko Imu's body. So if the Skull Bomb can do that much damage, I feel like the Throwheim should just atomize Gunko Imu. But of course it's Imu, so... Hey, leave some for me, as he does his Looney Tune run. During that self-same period, a number of credible rumors started to emerge. Did they dodge? They might have. So if they can dodge, or have to dodge, maybe you can actually just eviscerate them on some... If you have been reading Ichi the Witch shit, if you do enough damage, maybe you can actually just annihilate them. She got away. Where did she get to? She's too damn small for me to see. Okay, that is definitely a weakness. If you're too big, especially if you're with wings, you can, like, float around this guy. Concerning the sighting of the unimaginably large flying beast, the truth is plain to see now. So Loki was using his Devil Fruit powers a while ago when Harold died. And again, he had a crew of giants that were coming with him to fuck up the world government. So whatever happened to them. But Loki apparently was definitely wreaking havoc. So that might also go into detail why he has a bounty. There you are. You'll pay for what you did to Usopp and Brook. What the fuck just happened? As he's about to, I think, punch. Again, the nice ass shot. Gunko is having a reaction? Gunko Imu? On purpose, maybe? Something's happening where there's now a pillar of darkness jutting from their stomach. Luffy, in shock, doing the eye thing again, which we haven't seen in a minute. Whoa. You're summoning yourself? What the fuck? Holy shit, you can do that? I mean, I know you... I guess they did that with Saturn back during the God Valley flashback, but we figured because they have the Abyssal Covenant, they have, like, the deep sea covenant, they have a deeper connection so Imu can do that. Wait a minute. Unless, again, Gunko is, like, the sixth elder or something, which has been a theory tossed around. I've been helping with that theory. Unless she's, like, the sixth elder, how the fuck can he do that? Why have you not been doing that? I mean, he had his whole tirade last time, like, a king does not, partake in mere acts when others can do it. It's like, sure, but, like, bud, this is important stuff. I figured you would want to go out on the battlefield and do some shit. What the fuck? Also, huge, by the way. No, actually, I was going to say, is Luffy back in his Gigant form? No, he looks comparable to Gunko, so I think now he's actually outside of his Gigant form. But nonetheless, still a big entity. Something came out. If only thou were erased from the world, as rocks was before thee. They have their tendrils, and they have the fucking magic circle. The summoning circles. A Kosorol demonic covenant. What? Is Imu trying to force a covenant? Not Dami Reverse-Eye. Not Dami Reverse-Eye, as far as I can tell. He's doing a new thing? A course... What? Okay, Google, help. Google, help me. What the fuck is a corsal? A corsal? I'm probably saying that wrong. Co-ural. 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 I'm getting Final Fantasy shit. That's probably not right. C-O-E-U-R? C-O-E-U-R-L. Meaning. I don't think even Google knows. Okay, this probably might be a translation issue. Cargil is a web-based design? No. Pronunciation, mythology? Let me see mythology. The Kural is a fictional, highly intelligent animal predator originating from Ivan Vox's 1930 sci-fi short story Black Destroyer, characterized as a sleek black feline with 2 long tentacles. Okay, maybe Oda's doing a deep-ass reference to some sci-fi shit. I doubt that, but maybe. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that's coming up for Coral, because I guess it's 2 fucking tendrils that he's juicing out. This is the only thing I'm getting, and it's like D&D shit as well. Okay. So, I guess an attack based on his 2 tentacles. His 2 tentacles. A coral demonic covenant. So, what is he doing here? Thou shalt cast aside a portion of thy life. He's doing the same shit. So, wait a minute. Is this different from Dami, or is this something else? Or, I mean, is it the same thing? Thou shalt cast aside a portion of thy lifespan and receive unprecedented strength. Damn, wait a minute. I mean, I can understand, like, Loki can't really dodge because he's too fucking big. Yo, Luffy, can you not dodge this shit? What the? I mean, it's not going to work, clearly, on Luffy. Loki, on the other hand, there have been theories. There have been theories if he is going to get, like, you know, fucking controlled. But what the fuck, Luffy? You can't dodge? And receive unprecedented strength. Ugh! Loki impaled. Huh? In exchange for thy blessing, thou shalt loathe each other. What? They will loathe each other? What the wait a minute. I'm getting like Miss Golden Week shit because we've been going through the live action. Like, they're going to manipulate their personalities to fight each other. They can do that shit? Alright, here comes more powers. Dami Reversi. This is not the same thing. I gotta go back to the Dory and Bragi chapter. This is not the same thing. I feel like we did not get a Coral demonic covenant. Dami Reversi. And then Loki. Luffy looking at each other. Huh? What's the big idea? This thing doesn't even hurt. What a pain. Wait, did you just say rocks? Yeah, okay. Too strong, too tough. Fuck you, not gonna work on us. But that's insane, though. Emu actually got the thing off on Luffy and Loki. So, like, damn, like, fucking Christ, they're quick with this shit. As expected, these two truly are... Wait a minute. Wait, what? Was that just a way... I guess that was just Oda saying, like, yeah, these guys, they're not going to get affected for one reason or another. I guess. But it's like, wait, if you knew that, Emu, why would you even try it? It's like, just take a shot, I guess. You know. Can't blame a demonic entity for trying. Gum Gum. She's too puny to fight like this. Ooh, hybrid form? Ooh, hybrid form maybe. Hang on. Let me see. Squeak. Ooh, hockey on his fist. All right, here we go. Here comes some arm and hockey. Booming Gone Gatling. I forget what the booming dong signifies, but I assume it's just hockey on top of his Gear 5 attacks. Anyway, just get wrecked, Emu. Get wrecked. Ragnir. Squeak. Did Ragnir... Okay, so I was about to say, I feel like Ragnir hasn't looked like that when he's in Hammer, but never mind. It changes. Not a hybrid form. What the fuck? He doesn't go in... maybe even then it'd be too big. His hyper form would still be too big. So he's going back to base form, which is still massive, but, you know, in comparison. Move it, Luffy! Squeak! Whoa, hold on, let me move! Yo, dude. Yo, okay. Emu, apparently in his tendril form, is almost as big as, like, Loki's, like, entire, like, foot to knee. That's how long he was. God damn. Anyway, bringing down the hammer. Like he's goddamn... Hold on. Give me 1 second. Yeah. All right, there we go. All right. But yeah, so he's bringing down the hammer. He's bringing down the hammer like Thor. Want me to bring the hammer down? And then Emu like, oh crap, I wasn't built for this. I overestimated myself. What just happened? Wait. Whoa. He does a Niflheim, but like he imprisons Gunko Emu in a massive block of ice. I figured he was going to do some lightning shit. No. He does some Niflheim. Holy shit, he can do fucking constructs like that? Oh, man, Loki's tough, man. Loki's fucking tough. Whoa! Is that your finishing move? Okay, Oda. Thanks for being so subtle there. So, Gunko Emu is just petrified in a block of ice. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So, petrified in a huge block of ice. Is that your finishing move? But I wasn't done ass-kicking yet. Okay. It's been a minute. Yo, Luffy was in Gear 5 for a hot second there. There's Old Man, though. Are we going to see boom, 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 like him restarting? I have no idea what you're about, but doing it this way is much quicker. Besides, I was way too big for too long. That's, I think, Luffy saying that. Yo, Emu, what's the plan, Chief? What's the plan? God. Okay, give me 1 second. People are relentless right now. All right. Goodness gracious. People cannot function without me helping them. All right. Okay. Anyway, refocusing. So Loki took care of the situation pretty easily, but I feel like we're not done. Probably not done, even though Luffy's tired now. Though, Oda said this is going to end anticlimactically, or very quickly. Elbaf, fishing village. Focus on putting out the fires. Oh my god, are they still... I can't do everything for people. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright. Oh, to be a person that is needed. Alright. Okay, anyway. Elbaf Fishing Village. Focus on the Furies. Focus on the fires. So the village should be fine. I feel like now we should be good. So either they're going to have one more Emu or God Knight retort. Like they're going to come back. Like some Karakura township with like the Espas going into like their resurrections. Or they're done. They're done. So let's see what O's going to do. Elbaf Fishing Village. Focus on putting out the fires. That Loki prick may have taken down the monsters for us, but cleaning up after him is its own calamity. Yeah, but it's better than having been enslaved. Hunting Village. So we were wrong about Loki killing King Harold. We may have misjudged him there, but looks at this mess. He's still a pain in the ass Maverick. Stop complaining. Just stop complaining. Also, these nightmare creatures, do they not disappear once they're I guess he's not unconscious, so I guess they're just down for the count. Go Zeus, keep pouring. I'll do my best. Again, Nami, impressive size there in all aspects. Sea Cloud, shoulder throw. Sure, variant shoulder throw. Jinbei, you guys start showing new shit. Even the ODCs have their limits, you know. Okay, sure. I guess Oda's trying to tell us, hey, these guys are cool, but don't be... Oh, hold on. I've been muted. Fuck. Okay. Whatever. Basically, a bunch of people are doing shit. Here we go. All right, next page. Frankie's going to have limits on his new upgrades, which is fine. We knew they weren't going to be, like, too awesome, but still. The West Village. We did it. So Dorian Bragi and Stanson and Harajin did it. If they all flipped back to white, then yeah. But if some start to regenerate, then it wasn't enough. Forgive us, Chiefs. It was like some kind of malicious darkness that swallowed us up. Don't fret. We couldn't resist it either. So, yeah. Okay. Everything seems to be wrapping up. But I feel like Oda could still do something. Oh, there's still some demons. Ugh, damn you, captains. How dare you? There still are 2 or 3 of them left. Chopper. Alright, I got this. Hang on. Alright, Chopper, you're going to definitely need an explanation here. Slap. Oh, Chopper. Yeah, their demons are literally getting slapped out of them. Why? What's going on here? Zoro, what the hell did you just do just now? No idea. Seems like I can undo their demonification just by hitting them. Huh. Maybe it's because you're an amazing doctor? What? Don't you dare think that kind praise makes me happy, because it doesn't, you jerk. Wow, we haven't heard this in a long time. We have not heard Chopper's whole shtick in a minute now. Huh. Okay. Nah, that's gotta be it. You're just that amazing. Well, we sorted out the mess around here. Wonder how the others are doing. I mean, right now it seems like we're good. We're good. No signs of enemy activity in the artisan village here. More fires have broken out, though. It's kind of tough. No fools in the alcohol village either. Just raging flames. Wait, isn't this the village that Loki's mom's from? She's still here? They're still alive? What the fuck? Other giants, also giants with horns. Okay. All right. I cannot keep getting taxed right now. I told them that I cannot do anything. Oh my goodness. Seems like all that's left now is to extinguish the fires. Keep your eyes peeled in case of any of those demons are still alive out there. Owl Library. Saul, what's going on here? There's definitely fire damage, but the shelves are empty. There should at least be fragments of books left. Ooh, the owl. But we call it this. A lot of people call it this. That the owl should have saved the library, which it looks like it. Also, there's a chair up there. That's kind of neat. Bilbo. Right, that's what this thing is. Fucking the Bilbo. I just want to say Bilbo. Well, there's no L. But Biblo, the owl, ain't here neither. I don't want to be too optimistic, but you think he might have moved the books? I'd be overjoyed if he did, but even if that were possible, where would he go? Let's find out. Ooh, the upper realm. Yeah. Things got wrapped up pretty quickly. Once we went out on the offensive, of course. Yeah, it's like these guys really got like the sneak attack, but once we got our forces together, yeah, they didn't really stand much of a chance. Well, it ain't like this was a full-on war against the whole organization, you know. Even if these guys are Knights of the Holy Land, there were only 3 of them. I mean, the best one didn't stay around, to be fair. But yeah, Emu is also leading the charge, so it is kind of insane how things are wrapping up quickly. Yeah, it's insane how thoroughly they managed to devastate somewhere as massive as Elbaf. What happened to the Great One? You guys got fucked. On the outskirts of the West Village. Okay. Where are we? The outskirts. I don't think we've been here. I don't know what that is. It looks like a crater. Bro, what the? Okay, so again, some weird buggy heat-on shit's happening to Summers. Damn it! Here we go. Is that his heart? Oh my god, why is it so glossy? Ow, ow, ow. What the that is weird. That is trippy. It's like there are a bunch of buggies. Luffy's group. Loki, I'm hungry. Go back to the village then. It ain't like I carry food with me. Squirrel, I'm hungry. What's with that weird look anyway? Squeak. Emu? Fucking does the meme? Fucking fades? Where are you going, Emu? Where are you going? Bro, the Holy Land? Oh, Blackbeard, please. Blackbeard, I've been saying this. For the longest time. Blackbeard. The Holy Land of Merjawal. What the fuck? Wait, what is that? Why is there just a section of buildings that have just been upheaved out of the ground? What the fuck? Pangea Castle Flower Room. Elders. Yes, Great Emu. The Holy Land will be without Mu for a short while. Wait, what? Oh, whoa, what the fuck? Okay, first of all, what the fuck's happening on the Holy Land? Second of all, that was a short-ass chapter. Too many double-page spreads over here. Too many double-page spreads. What the fuck? That was quick. one for Loki in the village, and then one for Dorian Broggy and Chopper that didn't get really much expanded on. What the fuck? Are we not on break? Thank God we're not on break. Could Emu really be going there? Yo, Emu, so you can go to the battlefield. You can actually go yourself. Not like, oh, I'm using a conduit, a person to summon myself. No, no, no. I'm going. It's time for the big dog to make his grand entrance. He can do that shit. He can do that. Also, who the fuck's right there with Emu? He's contacting the elders. I assume on some like telepath shit, but is that like another maid? Is that another maid? And what the fuck's going on the Holy Land? Please, Blackbeard. Please be Blackbeard. Blackbeard, maybe Blackbeard and Dragon at the same time. Like, what the fuck? Oh, I forgot to add beard. Blackbeard and Emu, man. Blackbeard and Emu. Like, come on. This has got to happen. Blackbeard's got too much stake in the story not for this to happen. But, like, what the fuck else could have done this? Maybe, like, with Dragon and Morley, he's uplifting, like, the area? Maybe? The castle, of course, looks fine. Are the elders out fighting on the Holy Land right now? Shamrock's back there, but, yeah, again, it's such a fucking devastation here. But anyway, Moo is going. Moo is like, yeah, time to roll out. Time to roll out and kick some ass. Like, I guess Emu is now finally going to show off more capabilities. So, the Luffy and Emu fight has not subsided. So, Luffy better get some food in him real quick. And Loki better, like, heal up a little bit quick, too. Maybe, again, like, the God Knights, Summers, Gunko, and Killingham. Maybe, again, like, when the Espadas, like fucking let loose. Let me see this shit. Oh, it's like the one thing when they were, like, powering up and shit. Where is it? Not Grimjow. It's like when they power up and, like, they were getting serious against them in like the Waco Mundo arc / Karakura Town arc. Damn it. Fuck. Damn, I gotta find that gift. It's such a good gift. Let me see. Let me do, because it was Stark, Baragon, and Harabel. Damn it. Oh, I think I found it. Kind of. It's probably like a low quality gift, but it gets my point across, I think. Yeah, low quality. It's not even showing the whole thing. Damn it. Well, anyway, it was like when they, like, showed up and they decided, like, to, like, unleash their full power. Like, maybe it's like, okay, now that Emu's summoning himself to the battlefield, all of, like, them can just, like, maybe get, like, a stat boost. Like, if it is some weird demonic games where, like, you had the Dami Reverse Eye pieces, maybe, like, better pieces that Emu perceives with, like, the Covenant, they will get, like, an actual stat boost. Now that Emu is saying, hey, time for me to take the battlefield, like, maybe he can give them a stat boost. Or, like, people believe Luffy can give his people stat boost in the future. We'll wait and see on that one, but maybe Emu can also do that as well. Like, they all get a power up. So Summers and Killingham, they're trying to, like, get themselves back together right now, but they may get, like, a super powered mode coming up soon. Maybe also with Gunko as well, seeing how Emu looks to be leaving her for one reason or another. Maybe, again, like, there's only so much they can do in other people's bodies, but now it's time for him to be like, okay, Yeah, the Nidhogg and the Sun God are here. I tried to do a Dami reverse eye on them, I guess. Didn't really work, but I also knew that wasn't going to happen. So it's like, okay, then why'd you try it? But whatever. Yeah, they smoked him. They didn't give a fuck about the Dami reverse eye. I'm surprised he even got it off in the first place, but yeah. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing major really happened outside of Luffy, like, getting de-transformed, which has been like a minute now that he's been in there. Showing more creativity with Niflheim, so he has more ice control for Loki. The villages seem to be fine. There's a limit to Frankie's new upgrades. Chopper's things not fully getting explained. They're kind of like still dancing around that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The owl, I guess, is the only other interesting thing. Like, where is the owl? Where are the books? It's probably up here. It's probably in the Heaven Realm. They are probably in the last area kept safe. So that's going to be a reason to probably also go up there to find the books. Yep. So yeah, nothing really crazy happened this chapter. Like, the only things that really happened with the fight, quote unquote, is just Emu apparently can tag. Emu can summon himself outside of Gunko, which I figured only the elders could do that, but maybe, again, Gunko might be special. Loki showing off some more creativity, and whatever's happening on the Holy Land is gonna have to wait, because Emu's saying, hey, I gotta go take care of business. Which, I mean, I'm happy to hear that they can do that, but then again, this now goes in the whole thing of, well, he says a king shouldn't have to go out into the battlefield. But it's like, there are times I feel like, Emu, you probably should have gone out into the battlefield if you can really do that. But maybe we're finally going to learn some more reasons why they haven't done so, outside of a personality reason. But I guess next chapter, which we now on break, that's going to be a big thing. So, gear up, people. Next chapter, we might just get an Emu face reveal. It might be time. Man, woman, beast, we actually might get a face reveal. If not next time, if Emu genuinely is going to be our final big bad in this arc, not final big bad maybe overall, because Mr. Zehaha might be doing some shit, but he's truly going to, like, be here, unlike any other time that we've had interactions with Emu. With Luffy, Loki, we might get a face reveal. But if we don't see that, and he still is a fucking shadow entity, then I think we had to put the debate to rest. He probably is just a fucking shadow. He probably is genuinely just a shadow creature, which is fucking crazy. So before we go into the chat and answer anything, I just want to go back to the Dami Reverse Eye. I want to go back to the Dami Reverse Eye because I want to, like, again, these past 2-3 chapters have just constantly made me want to go back and check it out. So this is when Gunko showed up with Emu inside them. Fucking, again, Oda, you are a mad lad with some of these shots with Gunko's lower half. We have the magic circle things, like we keep seeing them do. Again, magic circle is the book. We don't know what's going on with the book. We haven't really seen that again. There's, like, the goddamn gun and knife. So these circles and the book aren't fully explained. But I guess Emu has, like, maybe, like, a book of holding of items and stuff that they can just use or whatever. Thou shalt cast aside thy lifespan for a body of unyielding to death. Under Mu's domain thou shalt be granted unprecedented strength. No longer shalt thou be bound by reason nor common sense. Become a demon is truly the pinnacle of existence. A crucial demonic contract. Okay, so never mind. So they did say that. So Emu, unlike before though, this was going to be very similar to how Rocks was taken over. Unlike before with using, like, the pentagram under Dorian Bragi, and I assume the people on God Valley. Just like Rocks, even though we didn't see the pentagrams last time, the same shit happened. The same shit was going to happen. But the theory is dead now, I guess. Loki will not switch sides. As of right now, again, maybe it's like Emu is still a vessel inside of Gunko and all of his other thralls, but now that he is coming to the battlefield, he'll be at much more of a higher potential for him to do stuff. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see. So maybe if he's just around people, maybe he can like genuinely just cause people to do the Dami reverse side just by existing in that area to flex a little bit. Maybe. And then for Loki, there could still be a chance that he like corrupts him, but we gotta wait and see. All right, so let me read some chat. From Lupin, how you doing, man? So, Emu is no match for Luffy and Loki. We need a new last enemy. Lol, let's hope Blackbeard. So, there could still be a chance that Emu, again, has not been going all out. And probably hasn't. But that might be for a genuine reason of there's only so much they can do inside of their servants, their vessels, that they have contracts with. There's only so much they're capable of doing. So even though the demonic forms that we see him take over with Gunko, or what we saw back in the flashback with Saturn, when he takes over him partially and does this weird mass of darkness and spider, there's probably gradient levels of him taking over their bodies and whatnot. I assume when he starts to form outside of them, like there, and in this chapter, when they're starting to do like the tendril Dami reverse eye shit, I assume, again, that's more of their power coming out. But even then, it's nothing compared to probably what they can do themselves freely if they're there. But now we're actually going to see the potential of A, Emu can summon himself, genuinely so, to the battlefield. It seems to be that way. And also B, he might have more power than just using other people. Which again, we also haven't seen this one gargantuan form that he used against Sabo. Neither the arrows, too. This entire time that Emu and the Elders and the God Knights, they've been doing all the shit for the last 2 arcs. We have yet to still see this black arrow come back in any way, shape, or form. Nor the giant mass that Emu turned himself into on the throne room to fight against Sabo. We have still not seen that come back into play. So, we haven't probably seen all their abilities. And they probably can't unless they themselves are the ones doing it, not through other people. Probably. And again, maybe the other God Knights are going to get a stat boost. They could potentially get... Alright, well, fuck this AI art, but, like, they could get potentially, like, secondary forms because of their contracts. And this could also mean the same thing for the Elders, where if all 5 Elders were to stay by Emu's side, Emu might be able to grant them even more powers, even more possibilities, another transformation, you name it. It could be possible that Emu has like a stat boost to those of contracts around him. So the fighting may not be over just yet, in totality. Not just because Emu's going to be there, but genuinely the enemy combatants might get a second wind. It's possible. It's totally possible. So even though Lupin, I do agree Blackbeard will still probably be the one to take the glory. I do agree that this should still happen. And I do like the idea of Emu running the gauntlet still against Luffy and then prematurely has to go back because Blackbeard is on the Holy Land and now they're going to do a round 2 to fulfill that whole thing with rocks. Hey, Emu, I'm going to be back someday. And in a way, Blackbeard is fulfilling his father's quote there. He is back through his son in a roundabout way. And then he beats Emu, probably a weakened Emu, let's be real, but nonetheless, beats him nonetheless. I still like that. But let's not dunk yet on Emu. We still haven't seen the full capabilities. Emu had a weak design to begin with. Let's skip him and go right to Laughtail. He has a weak design as of now. Again, there still is a minute left on the clock that we could still see a new form. Now that he is coming to the island, now that he's coming to Elbaf, like no other gimmick, there's not going to be God Knights that are going to summon him through themselves. There's not going to be elders that are going to be summoning him through themselves. It is genuinely seeming like he's going to touch down on Elbaf, which is opening up a new can of questions that he can just do that. But nonetheless, he's coming. He, like Thanos over here, he's coming. He's coming to Elbaf. So let's give Emu one last, round to impress us. But I do agree, yes, Blackbeard most likely and should take out Emu to obtain the position of final villain. I agree. And we'll get to Laughtail. We still have to go to Lodestar. I believe in Lodestar agenda. An enemy that is only a silhouette, how lame is that? I mean, yeah, but that's also Oda's style. I'm not saying it's good, but, they generally might be on some, father shit from FMA. Okay, I don't know who I don't know who you are. But they could legitimately be a fucking dwarf in the flask entity here, where they're literally just a mass of darkness. And that's fine. It's just not visually impressive, even compared to, Father. But nonetheless, it's a fine idea. It's not bad. It's just Oda's envisionment of what a fucking shadow entity is a little lackluster as of right now. But again, we haven't seen them go full out. Technically against Sabo, we saw a silhouette of what Emu can possibly do. So, let's give him some credit when we now see him touch down. And if not, alright, fair enough. Then we can dogpile Emu. But we've had Chopper that can insta-reverse them, so it's kind of over. Again, it really depends on how Oda's going to play Emu touching down. Again, this is unlike anything we've seen before with Emu. So you're right. I do think that, yeah, having Chopper have an ability to neg Emu's abilities off the gate is very weird, to say the least. It gives the Straw Hats way too much of a bag. That's only if, however, if Emu doesn't have a counter to that by coming down to the island himself. If Emu has more power by being in proxy of the island themselves, kind of like how Kaido and Big Mom with Haki can negate Laws and Eustace Kid's Devil Fruits on some level. Maybe, again, Emu, because he does have Conqueror's Haki, we have seen that, combined with more of his power's potential, Chopper may not just be able to just slap away whatever Emu's gonna do if he touches down. If the Domi Reverse Eye can now be a passive thing that Emu can just do by being in the presence of him, and then all of a sudden, the people that were flipped get re-flipped again because there's a lingering essence to them, maybe? Or he's imposing his will through his Conqueror's Haki. So instead of getting knocked out, he can emit an aura of Conqueror's Haki on some Douglas Bullet shit, infuse it with his Domi Reverse Eye, send it out to the entire island, and then all of a sudden, more and more people could turn to Domi Reverse Eye entities and maybe even get more powerful than before, the same thing can go with the God Knights. That the God Knights, like the Espada, like I keep saying, when they went to Karakura Town, they leveled up and said, okay, we're no longer holding back, and we saw like them do their trifecta transformation at the same time. That can maybe happen if Imu touches down and says, all right, you motherfuckers, you've been slacking. Here you go. And all of a sudden, they get new powers, they get stronger transformations, you name it. So we have to give Imu the credit of touching down first to showcase us, is there more to Imu before we go on to Blackbeard? That's what I think. That's what I think. But Lupin, you are right. You are right that if Imu doesn't do anything more impressive, a lot of the things that you've been saying are kind of true. That there is a lot of lackluster to Imu. I won't deny that. It's an idea that's overused. Yeah, I got you. Oda can't introduce an ability for Chopper only to take it back next chapter. It's not taking it back, it's adding a nerf. Like, in this chapter, right here, like, we literally see 2 chapters after it just got introduced. Lilith literally says, hey, my invention right here has a limit. So I say we as a collective, the fans of the manga right now, when Frankie got that power-up, we were all losing our minds and saying like, hey, this power-up can give Frankie a lot of possibilities going into the future. And I still think it will, but right now, it has its limits. The same thing is going to probably be said to Chopper. Like, I don't think, like, if Chopper goes up to Summers and Killingham, as of right now, I can't say definitively, could he slap a contract out of someone? I don't think so. I don't think so, nor do I think that would be a wise thing to do. If Oda says otherwise, okay, fair enough. That would definitely be, like, way too much. Like, he can slap away a contract. That's insane. I think that's where we're going to get into the whole hockey paradigm of, you know, what Roger and then Rocks and what Gabon's kind of hinting at. Like, hey, you need this and also hockey to deal lasting damage to them. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like. And again, we don't know what Imu is like when he is literally touching down in proximity, not going through his servants. I mean, he's physically now not going to be on the Holy Land. He is on an island putting in work. Let's see. Let's give him the test. Can he run it back? Can he run it back? If he can't, cool. Then we'll talk about it. If he can, well, let's give him his flowers. Let's give him his credit. But nonetheless, if he can or cannot, I'm still on the agenda that Blackbeard will take him out. And if he's weakened, it still fits in Blackbeard's paradigm that he don't give a fuck. Weakened, full power, but mostly weakened is his ballpark. He will strike while the iron's hot and take out Imu. 100%. Oda, Chopper, you get to shine, but only for 1 chapter. I mean, that's Chopper, though. But that's been Chopper. Like, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But, like, the thing with Chopper is he has his ebb and flows the entire post-time skip. And that's an overall narrative problem with the Straw Hats. Like, I think the Straw Hats have a lot of issues in post-time skip. I really do. I really, really do. But that's one of the many things that go into those issues, specifically with Chopper. I don't know what to say. Like, yeah, he's getting a cool new ability. Hopefully not a new fruit to change the paradigm, but a new ability that's going to be useful for certain scenarios. I don't think it should be like a massive game changer, though. And that's, I think, what Oda, I'm hoping, is trying to establish here. Like with Frankie's power-up, there's going to be limits. There's going to be limits. Chopper must have a god of forest fruit. You say must, but does he have to? I understand that's the easiest thing to say, but genuinely so. Like, me King of Lightning and so many other people are saying, it could simply be because he's a human fruit. He's like purifying the devil fruit's power. If Emu does have the devil fruit power, like the devil power, probably, because it's very demonic right now. There's a lot of contractual shit going on. But like maybe it's just a type difference, like Pokemon over here. It might just simply be a type difference. But again, even with a type difference, it may not be super effective if the motherfucker himself is on the battlefield. And again, we've seen the Conqueror's Haki. Goddamn, my books. We've seen what his Conqueror's Haki can do in the flashback with, you know, rocks. But then in real time, when he's taking over Emu, when he's taking over Gunko, we literally see like a pulse wave of Haki. Thank you, Reddit. That's like encompassing like a huge, a massive stretch of like the tree area. So his Conqueror's Haki is nothing to fucking, like, you know, sleep on. So add the Conqueror's Haki with him now on the battlefield, there might be a good chance, like Kaido and Big Mom, Chopper may not be able to keep doing his shit so easily. Maybe this is when you have to tag team with Zoro and Co., where it's like, do enough damage, and then have Chopper come in and slap him away. Maybe you have to use both those methods. I don't know. We have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. Right. None gets to shine for more than one chapter except Zoro and Luffy. I mean, Sanji gets his flowers here too. And Frankie's been getting more and more, which is nice. Brook has his, like, ebb and flows, like with Big Mom and now again. But for the most part, yeah. Shine, just character moments overall outside of combat stuff. Consistency with their characters. There's a bunch of stuff to talk about the Straw Hats. Don't get me wrong. There is a bunch of stuff to talk about the Straw Hats that aren't good in post-time skip, without a doubt. God forbid that Luffy needs his friends to win. Listen, I mean, we could still do a team battle. It could happen. It could happen. It's not really Oda, but it could happen. Like, the last time, like, the Straw Hats genuinely had, like, a team battle was Sabaody. And that was because he was desperate. Same thing in Thriller Bark against Oars. But maybe Oda will do that again. I know a lot of people wanted that during Wild Country against Kaido. Like, there were many people that wanted the entire Straw Hat crew to go up against Kaido on the rooftop. They wanted a whole Straw Hat teamwork battle. And there's some pros and cons to that. But realistically, just like then versus now, even with Oda trying to give them power-ups and whatnot, let's be honest here. If Emu is anywhere close to a Yonko level combatant, which they probably are on some levels, it doesn't really matter what Chopper, Frankie, Brook, Nami, Robin, even Jinbei bring to the table. Because most of their shit is either A, gonna get negged or canceled out, or Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy are going to be carrying them massively, and to the point of they're just going to be playing support. Which is fine. But even in a team-based combat scenario, I'm more likely to bet they're not going to do crazy amount of damage. You could still do some shit. I'm not saying you can't. Like, Brook has his soul thing. Let's see what happens there with Emu. Chopper has his weird thing going on. Let's see what happens there. Zoro and Sanji have some weird abilities that maybe they can do shit against him. Usopp has to hopefully do something. to distract Emu. Maybe Frankie can use some shit with his like heat absorption shit, and the rest of them play support while Luffy charges up for his fucking big attacks. If we do a team battle against Emu, they have meaningful things that they can add, but at the end of the day, let's not fool ourselves. It is going to be the primary big three of the crew: Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy. But even in this battle, probably, unless he gets flipped, Loki too is also going to like take a lot of the spotlight because he has the importance of the arc. But then on top of that, he has one of the secondary highest abilities to do so. It's scenarios. I think like Oda definitely needs to do better scenarios for the Straw Hats to all contribute and be of use. But let's also not kid ourselves. If we see Usopp and Robin do lasting damage or somehow trip someone like Emu into like damage at all, the fandom would lose their mind. They would lose their mind. So it's a balance act. It's a balance act that I don't think he does well, but he's trying to maybe at least do something here. Humans can't dispel devils, only godly powers can. We don't know. We don't know. Oda's world of humans might be something different, man. Scopper, welcome to the chat. I can see BB being the final villain. If he gets immortality from Law, then steals Emu, Devil Fruit, if they have a Devil Fruit. Here's my question. If Emu's powers of immortality that he gives off to people is the same thing that's allowing him to get his long lifespan, do we need Law's Devil Fruit? He could just get that from Emu's power. I do think Law's power, like the ultimate ability, like the immortal surgery that was mentioned all the way back in Dressrosa, fucking over 10 years ago. Over 10 years ago. Like, this should come back into play. 100%. The immortal operation, the eternal life, should come into factor. And I think that this is probably how Emu is living long. But that requires Law to die. So, I don't know, man. He's a fan favorite character. I don't know if Oda has the cojones to kill off Law. I mean, if Kid's dead, maybe. But I do agree, I think he will take out Emu. Maybe even take his power, whatever it is. But I don't know if he's going to steal Law's power. Or somehow make Law turn him immortal. I really doubt that. I really do. But maybe. Do you remember when Luffy admitted that he can't do shit alone and needs his crew? Those were the good days. But the difference of that, especially with the context when he first said that with Arlong, when he said that to Arlong, he's talking about the journey. He's talking about the travel. He needs a ship navigator like Nami to sail us in the right direction. He needs a cook like Sanji to make sure his crew and himself, especially now with his powers, are properly fed. He needs someone like Chopper to make sure that they are going to be healed up before and after battles and take care of the crew. It's the everyday scenario that he meant when doing that, which is important, which I don't think Oda definitely doesn't touch on enough. But when it comes to the battlefield, yes, they have their importance, especially now that they are becoming more of a Yonko crew. Their importance is to handle the riffraff, and then especially for like the middle tier people, guys like Jinbei, Frankie, Robin, they can take care of that. And then like the upper echelon of a crew, Zoro, Sanji, maybe Yamato, maybe Loki, we'll see. They can go do that. So in battle, they have their importance up until a certain point. Afterwards, it's all Luffy. It's all Luffy. And we've literally seen the dichotomy of a Yonko crew is heavily reliant on their Yonko that they're serving. Their forces are still important and they have key factors, but the reason that they're a Yonko crew, outside of like the lower tier people being able to, like, fight at certain levels is because they have a Yonko that they're following. So, yes, the good old days was when the stakes and levels were a lot lower and we could focus on the day-to-day aspects. But now that we're in a constant fight scenario to upheave the world's order, the stakes are different, man. They're different. And the Straw Hats are doing their best to find their roles. But at the end of the day, Luffy is going to be the prime mover and shaker. Is what it is. I just think the issue I have is that the moments that we get for the other crews aren't, or the other crews, the other crewmates need to be handled at a good pace and handled well. That's what I think, at least. Ivankov mentioned that Emu likely got their immortality from the Appi Appi fruit. Yep. When Ivankov said Nirna Emu is as old as the old king 900 years ago, they said that the only way that could make sense if that the immortal of the Appi Appi is true and was tested. Yep. So most likely, Law's fruit is in connection to Emu. So we'll probably see that in a backstory. Because this information is known. It's not just Dofi. It's not just Ivankov. Like, this is known, apparently, in the circles of, like, the underworld of pirates, that Law's fruit, why it's so valued for what it was when Corazon was hunting it down in the flashback, it's known that its ultimate ability is to give immortality. So people know about that. How do they know about that? Well, it stands to reason someone must have became immortal. Who fits that bill? Before, it was Kaido, but we saw how that turned out. Now it looks like it's Emu. More likely not. Someone way back when, used the immortality surgery on Emu, and that's why they're now 900 plus years old. Most likely. It's also important that Blackbeard, when attacking Law, mentioned that he was intrigued into becoming immortal. Did he say that? I'll have to go back. Let me double check. Because I don't remember that part. I know he said, "Oh, I didn't know your fruit could do that, Law." Like when he does, like, the re-room. That was back during Egghead. Life of Kuma, Pacifista, Genie, A Word. Let's see. The Five Elders, The Truth of That Day, Let's Go, Kuzan, Legendary Hero, Redhead Pirates, Emperor's Crew. Let me see. That's with Kid. Shanks doing the beatdown, which was funny as fuck. That's Blackbeard. Hold on, let me look it up. Blackbeard versus Law. What chapter is that? 1064. Okay. I was close. So that was 1079. Let me see. Here we go. Let me actually go back a chapter, because that's when they do the whole women transformation shit. Yep, here we go. So let's see. It's no good. It's pressure cabin, blah, 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 blah. Oh, he managed to nullify that. It's impressive. That's how diseases go. Antibodies. Burgess, I'm going to send you over to that island. Got it, Roger. Blah, blah, blah. Zeha, it's been a while, hasn't it? Trafalgar Law, what you want? Is that any way to speak to a fellow member of the worst generation? but it's like, you sneaking in by proxy. When you, Kid, in that Straw Hat left Wild Country, but I know, no way, I'm then stronger. With Big Mom and Kaido gone, the world's gonna turn upside down. Sounds like fun. Zehaha, Kid. Kaido had one, didn't he? Just how many log post robbings did you have? Trafalgar Law. All right, the next chapter. Zehaha, there's no escape now. Don't bother to run. Hakken, take care of the Polar Tang. Sachi, Penguin, you get into the sea and deal with them. Re-room. Amputate. No one told me his powers could do that. Is he using an awaken technique? Quake Crash. Zehaha, the power of the quake. Shock Willie, the hell is this? Blech. This is what happens when you take on the charge. Shall we return to the ship? Don't be an idiot. We're going to finish this fight. Blackbeard and him. Do all you officers have Devil Fruit powers? Must be a pretty raw deal hauling around that many anchors. They call them Devil Fruits for a reason. The weakness is well worth the trade-off. Black Vortex. All right, let's get to the chapter where Law and his crew get fucking devastated. Is that the next chapter? I don't remember. Let's see. No, it doesn't look like it. Let's see. When does Beppo do his thing? What chapter was this? Chapter. Where? Oh, here we go. 1081. Actually passed the Kit chapter. Okay. 1081. 81. Here you go. All right, here we go. So that's still during the Garp fight. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so the Kuzan, Blue Hole, Winter Island, blah, 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 the Polar Tang, blah, 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 Zihaha. Without a ship, you can't even call yourself a pirate anymore, let alone escape. The owners of the 100 hearts that you stole on Rocky Port are still living on Pirate Island. I bet they would be thrilled if I bring your heart back to them. Now what should we do with the Oppie fruit? Should we sell it or use it? Don't suppose you fancy granting me eternal... Okay, fair enough. He did say that. Again, I don't know if he'll get it, though, because this feels like the same vein when he wanted Boa Hancock's fruit. Like, yeah, he wants these powers because they would be convenient, but I don't know if he's going to get it. Like, he's not going to get Boa's powers. I don't know if he'll become immortal, but if he does become immortal, I mean, that means Law's going to die, so... That would be crazy. But that would also give credence to, like, what Luffy's learning now to be used later. So, maybe. I'm unbiased to who I want to be the final villain. Emu, polar opposite was Joy Boy, and while Luffy is following Joy Boy, while Luffy and BB are direct opposite. Yeah, that's fair. Law was supposed to die originally, but then became a fan favorite. That is a theory. That is definitely a theory, and honestly, there's some grounds for that. Just like Yamato was supposed to become a Nakama. Okay, at least with Yamato, it's like very clear. It's very clear Oda changed his mind. It was definitely during that 1 month break that Yamato absolutely got changed. Like, it's like such a stark difference. And then afterwards, in Egghead Island... The damage control with that extra flashback of Yamato talking to Luffy, giving us more of an expose reason on why she said she wanted to stay on Wano Country, 100% was like last minute, like, yeah, oh, the fans don't like that. Oh, here's some more reasons. So, yeah. Oda definitely changes his mind. He absolutely does change his mind on why certain things are progressing or then all of a sudden are dropped. Here's what it is. Okay, let me see. If anyone has anything else to say about this chapter, I think we're going to wrap it up. I'm looking forward to the next chapter. I understand people want to dunk on Emu. Just maybe wait. Let's just wait until Emu actually shows up. This is unlike anything we've seen before. Emu themselves are on this island, and they're about to throw down. Let's give them the credit of showing off first. If they don't do anything impressive, or they don't showcase that being here in actuality is a big difference compared to taking over a vessel like Gunko, like the Elders. If it's the same shticks that we've been seeing, okay, fine, whatever. I just have a nagging suspicion with his hockey, potentially with more output with his devil fruit powers, seeing the form that he went up against Sabo, the black arrows, there's probably going to be a good chance this Emu is going to showcase why he at some point fought Joy Boy. He didn't win, in the traditional sense, most likely, and he's scared of Joy Boy, but he fought against Joy Boy. That's something. That has to mean something. So we'll wait and see. Emu. Luffy, I'm your mother. If that happens, okay, then we can actually have a fucking... Then we'll rant. If that happens, yeah, we can rant. I mean, Yamato is kind of confirmed. Straw Hat, Oda in SBS showed... Listen, I want to cope absolutely that we get Yamato, but I have to see it. I want to believe. But, like, after that cover story, that did irreparable damage to my hopes. But, yes, the timeline implies they're hanging out with Luffy in the future. Same thing with Vivi. So maybe it could be like the second voyage. Like how Roger had 2 voyages. It could be the second voyage, which would suck. Because then it's like, that's end of story stuff. And we're not going to see that. I want it now. So, I don't know. But yeah. It'd be like, oh then. I know. Trust me, Scopper. You're not saying anything that I haven't already thought about. And I would love to see. It's just that it's looking very unlikely. So, I don't know. But what's unlikely, for sure, is that I don't think Loki's joining the crew. I really don't. I really don't think Loki's joining. Hold on. Sorry, I've just got more messages. Okay, sorry. Always busy. We're temporary final journey to Laugh Tale. I think, Yamato can definitely join up at the end of Elbaf. Like, there's a good chance that Elbaf at the end is going to become a convergence point for a bunch of people. I've said this and a bunch of other people said this. We can get Vivi, because that whole, X on the newspaper probably is going to mean something. We can get Sabo, because Sabo has to talk to Luffy and Vivi, and maybe even Bonnie about some stuff. We could get Yamato, because she has the Vivi card, and Wano Country in relation is close to Elbaf, because Kid went there right after Wano Country. Law, again, might show up, because he has nowhere else to go. I know people want Buggy and Crossgill to get Law. I mean, okay, that rubs me a wrong way, but I guess it would be different than going back again to the Straw Hats being like, hey, yeah, so I lost my crew. Can you guys help me again? It's like, damn, Traffy again? So that could happen. Marco and Miss Buckingham, I know people have forgotten about that plot point, and hopefully not Oda. But, they're trying to go to Vegapunk because she has a Vivri card. They're all, right now, are on Egghead Island, except for the clones that are in the sky. So, actually, I don't know how that works with a Vivri card. I guess because they're going to clone the main body, it's going to trace them back? Maybe? I don't really know how that works. But they could show up on Egghead Island and say, hey, free Weevil from Impel Down. So, yeah. So there is a possibility that Yamato could come at the end of Elbaf before the final journey. Yeah, it's possible. I feel Bonnie will go to the Revolutionary Army with her power to control pacifistas if it's valued against the Marines. If Sabo shows up and says that, yeah, I can see that. But there is also a good chance that she just also stays on Elbaf until, the final war. Don't forget Foxy, the king of pirates. True, Foxy. How can I forget? We saw him. We saw Foxy post-time skip. Last arc. Man's looking great. Man's looking magnanimous, as always. Grew a sick goatee and mustache, looking like a Wario. Yeah. Just ignore the fact that his ship is spotty and his crew are going hungry. Outside of that, things couldn't go better. Yeah. Wario Foxy is a bad pop-off. People ain't ready for some W Foxy action. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for coming to the stream. I think we're going to wrap it up now. We'll leave it on Foxy. So, until tomorrow, which will be our anime stuff, and then our read-throughs for Sunday. Then next week for more One Piece. So, again, Emu's coming down, so let's wait and see. I hope everyone takes care. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. And make sure to like the stream, comment, and subscribe. All that YouTube jargon. Until next time, guys, I'll be seeing you. Take it easy. Till tomorrow, and again, just give Emu time. Give Emu time. But yes, Oda does definitely have to give him work. It's undeniable. But yeah. Lupin, Scopper, and everyone that was here, take care. See ya on the next one.